Mike Welch coming to you from Saratoga with my partner in crime, Dave Grening. We're going to take a little look back and then a look ahead at some of the action coming up this weekend. Dave, first week highlights, what sticks out in your mind? I guess it's probably pretty easy.
Monomoy girl in the coaching club American Oaks. I thought she was terrific. Midnight Bizou challenged her at the top of the stretch, and she ran away from her fairly easily. It makes her 5 for 5 with 4 grade ones, and really puts her well in front in the 3-year-old filly division. Now I know a lot of people are jumping on the Wonder Gadot bandwagon, but she's been running against way weaker fields up in Canada. I'm not saying she can't run with Monomoy girl. She did so in the Kentucky Oaks. Hopefully they'll get together, although it doesn't look like they will until the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Wonder Gadot's going to come here for the Alabama. Monomoy girl's likely to wait for the Cotillion at Parks on September 22nd. I thought the other thing that was interesting was Chad Brown winning the Diana yet again. Now he won his third straight, fourth Diana overall, but Graham Motion, who was second, for the 5th time since like 2006, and I'm not really sure which is harder to do, win 4 Dianas or run second in 5.
One thing about the Diana, it was a short field. Chad had most of them, as we're going to probably see in a lot of these turf stakes. And again, we're looking ahead this weekend, the Curlin, the Jim Dandy, small fields again. What's the story with that?
Well, first of all, the 3-year-old races, there's a lot of 3-year-old races over in a short period of time. You have the Curlin on Friday, the Jim Dandy on Saturday, each drawing 5. Although I guess technically the Curlin got 6, although one is rerouted into the Jim Dandy. Sunday's Haskell Monmouth got 7. Who knows how many next weekend's West Virginia Derby will get. You know, some of it is the attrition. I mean, a lot of these horses tried to get onto the Triple Crown Trail and got hurt and couldn't make it. Some of them got hurt in the Triple Crown Trail, on the Triple Crown Trail. The Triple Crown winner is now gone. He's retired, so they don't last. These 3-year-olds don't last, and a lot of them are in too few barns as well. So, you know, I think it's a combination of problems. I don't necessarily think that having the Curlin is an issue. People are like, well, get rid of the Curlin, you'd have a 10-horse field. No, I don't think Steve Asmussen would run 3 horses in the Jim Dandy. I really don't.
We also saw the honorable miss here Wednesday. Was it 5 went to post there too? So it's kind of a little bit of an epidemic, and it's good for the horsemen that have horses in those races. Not good for the handle, and not good for the bettors either. You don't want those short fields, especially in those kind of races. Let's talk about the Curlin on Friday. 6 in there, 5 going to go. We're going to have a heavy favorite in Hofburg. How concerned would you be about the lack of pace in there for Hofburg?
You know what? I look at it this way, Mike. I think Hofburg is, to me, head and shoulders above what's in that field. If he can't beat that field, then pace or no pace, he's just supposed to be better than those horses. And you look at some of these other races that the pace looks like it's going to be an issue, and the best horse wins. And I really think Hofburg's just the best horse. And unless I go 54, and he's 20 lengths back, but he's got to be adaptable. And you know what? It's time for Hofburg to put up. Everyone loves it. A lot of people love this horse. He was the darling of the Derby going in, and he just ran okay, and he ran pretty well in the Belmont, but there's no justifies in here. He's supposed to win this race.
And then we look ahead to the Jim Dandy. Vino Rosso probably going to be the favorite in there. Same situation though, not a lot of speed. Flame Away from the Rail going to try to steal it?
I think there's a little bit more speed than you might think. I think Sporting Chance, if he breaks, he's kind of been a bit of a head case in the mornings, but in the afternoons, and I guess in the afternoons, yeah. But it's usually toward the end of the race. If he breaks, I think he'll show a little bit of speed stretching out from, I think, some of these one-turn races. So I guess he was in the Preakness as well. I think if he breaks out of there, he'll show a little bit of speed, and I think Reride might show a little bit of speed as well. That's the horse that was rerouted from the Curlin to the Jim Dandy. Tenfold's an interesting horse to me. I liked him in the Belmont Stakes. I picked him. He didn't have the greatest of trips in the world. Then again, I'm not really sure how good he is. I was trying to be, a wise guy, trying to be justified with a different horse. But I agree with you about Vino Rosso. It's just like Hofburg. It's time to put up or shut up. There's been a lot of talk about Vino Rosso since, the springtime. When I was in Florida, helping you out in Florida, he was getting ready for the Wood Memorial. They loved him. He delivered in the Wood and hasn't delivered since. So for Hofburg and Vino Rosso, it's time to put up or shut up.
How about the Vanderbilt? Will Imperial Hint finally get his first Grade 1 win, or is Switzerland too fast?
It's an interesting race. Imperial Hint, I guess he had a little bit of a minor hiccup training towards this race, but it seems to be he did get the work in and he won. Switzerland is an interesting horse, as is Done Deal for Ian Wilkes. I thought Done Deal, he's won 4 in a row, but it's a streak that dates back to like 2016. He missed a year plus due to injuries, but he came back with a decent dead heat win in a turf race, and then I thought he was very good in Iowa. Kind of an interesting race with some new names.
Yeah, I talked to Steve Asmussen this morning. He wasn't happy drawing the rail with Switzerland. He thought the rail draw cost him the honorable miss. He's hoping things will go a bit better at the start there. Saturday also the Amsterdam. Any thoughts there?
you know what, I'm going to skip the Amsterdam and I'm going to go to the Bowling Green because
Okay.
I'm not big on the Amsterdam. The Bowling Green to me is a fascinating race. It's a grade 2 on paper, but in the gate it looks like a grade 1. It looks like the Manhattan. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place finishers in that race all are back in here. Sadler's Joy is a horse I've always liked. High Happy could be developing into maybe a turf champion. He's won 2 races, grade 2 at Gulfstream, a grade 1 at Belmont Park, and it's time for him to deliver in this spot. I'm interested to see how he runs. There's no pace in that race either. He might be the pace, and Todd Pletcher doesn't necessarily want that to be the case. Sadler's Joy was, he was a length in front at the 8th pole in this race last year, got beat by Hunter O'Reilly, trained by Jimmy Toner, who sends out Manitoulin this year. So I think that's one of the better races of the weekend.
Big weekend ahead. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Got some sunshine today, more rain predicted Friday. By Saturday, hopefully things will clear out. We'll have a fast track and firm turf for the rest of the weekend. And hopefully you'll stay here with us the rest of the meet at DRF.com for the best coverage. Saratoga 2018.